diversity. Okay? What do you mean by diverse? Okay, diverse means differences. Okay, different cultures. Okay, so nurses should be culturally aware. Okay, so like for example, when you go to the United States, here in Taiwan it's easy because all your patients are Taiwanese, Chinese. You have the same culture, right? But when you go there, you will be encountering Mexican, right? There are a lot of Mexicans there. What else? Hispanics. Okay, so America is a diverse culture. Okay. Many people from different places go to America, right, to work and live. Okay? So you will be encountering different people from different cultures. So nurses should be aware. Okay? You should know something about them. Okay? Okay, so when you say cultural diversity, okay, so we group the people according to these categories. Okay? So you have your African Americans, okay, Asian Americans, that includes us. Okay? You go there. Hispanic Americans, European from Europe, okay, and the Native Americans. Later on, in the second part, we'll be discussing the religious and dietary practices. Okay, so these are the most common religion around the world. Okay, the Jews, the Muslim, Hindus, Buddhists, Jehovah's Witnesses, Catholics, Orthodox, Baptists, Adventists, Mormons. Okay? So nurses should know something about their diet, what they can eat and what they cannot eat. Because they also ask this in your NCLEX question. Okay. Okay, so let's start first with your cultural diversity. Okay, so let's define what culture means. Okay, so culture and their belief system. Okay, so culture defines for its people what is important for them and what is true and real in the world around them. Okay, and we have this term, this word, we call it ethnocentrism. Okay, one question in your NCLEX, they ask you, the nurse knows the meaning of ethnocentrism. So what is that? So if you see this word, okay, what does it mean there? It is the belief that one's own culture is generally the right or the best. Okay, that is what it means by ethnocentrism. Okay. Okay. Next, a client's perception of health and illness, okay, and treatment, compliance. Okay. What do you mean by the word compliance? When you say compliance, okay, the patient follows what you say to them. Okay. Comply. Okay. Follow. Okay. Stem from their beliefs. Okay. So it's also been affected of what they believe in. Okay. The social norms and cultural values. Okay. So there are many factors that makes up a patient's socio-cultural profile. Examples will be worldview, okay, how he sees the world, okay, his religion, what kind of religion he has, okay, or spirituality, okay. And sometimes when patients face stress in their lives, okay, their belief system plays an even greater role in their lives. So different people have a different way of, okay, coping with stress, right? Some people pray, some people who knows how to relax, some people don't, right? So nurses should be aware, okay, and sensitive to the differences of different cultures, okay? So you can provide your safe and effective nursing care, okay? So nurses should be culturally competent, okay, so you should know something about that culture, okay. So look at this. Number one, nurses who are culturally competent, they are in touch with their own personal and cultural experiences, okay. So nurses should have a holistic perspective. What do you mean by the word holistic? Okay, holistic means you look at the patient entirely, okay? For example, the patient say, I have chest pain. You only focus on the chest pain. No, you have to ask everything about the patient. Okay? We call it holistic approach. Okay. Okay, so you have to have the need to have a holistic perspective, okay, to assess the socio-cultural context of clients from the different cultures. Okay. The outcome, okay, the result of the client's treatment is often affected by the compatibility between the clients and the nurse's belief systems. Okay, so sometimes there comes a problem because the nurse believe in something, right? For example, Taiwanese nurses, you have your own culture, and your patient is a white American, you have a different culture. Sometimes there is what differences in your culture, the way you believe in. Okay, so it should be compatible. So both of you should be at the same level. Match. It should be matched. Okay. So what should nurses do? You should respect the client's individuality. Each patient is different. Eh? You cannot apply what you believe. You cannot say, oh, this is the correct one. No, because it might be different from that for that person. Okay? Often influences greater satisfaction with treatment and medical compliance. Okay? Remember, there are many ways to peel an apple. What do you mean by this saying? There are many ways to peel the apple. What do you mean by that? There are many ways how the nurse can what? Connect with your patient. Okay? There are many ways how to you get in touch with the patient so that the patient can follow you. Okay? Nurses who expose themselves to cultural diversity will provide culturally relevant care. Okay? So the more that you encounter patients from different cultures, the more you learn from them, right? Okay, the more that you can give appropriate care for that kind of patient. Like for example, Muslim, Muslim does not eat pork, right? So you should know that. Do not give food to the patient that contains pork. They will not eat that, okay? Later on, we'll discuss the different religions, okay? How do we define culture? So this is the definition of the word culture, okay? So these are the differences among the people. Okay, so they share the same belief. Okay, so it's a set of shared belief. All of you believe in something. Okay, values, behavioral patterns, the way how you behave. Okay, like for example, Taiwanese are more reserved than the Chinese, right? Chinese, when they go to 101, they shout, "Ah, but Taiwanese are more quiet, right? More reserved." I noticed that. So I told my friend when I'm in 101, why are they shouting? Oh, they are Chinese. They say, okay, so they have this distinct behavior, right? What else? They have your own language. Okay, so Taiwanese language is a little bit different from the Chinese language. Okay, what else? Ideas, custom, rituals. Okay, symbols, ceremonies that characterizes a particular group of people. Okay. Okay, so these are some cultural considerations that you should keep in mind every time you meet a new patient, okay, from a different culture. Okay, so number one, a client's identification with cultural, ethnic, or religious group may affect his health or health practices. Okay. A person may identify with more than one group. Okay, for example, your father is American, your mother is Taiwanese, so you have two different cultures to follow. Okay, clients may not practice all customs of a group. For example, you Taiwanese, so not everybody is following your tradition, right? Not everybody is doing the burning of paper money, right? Not everybody follows that. So it also, you may or may not practice all the customs of your group. Okay, the individual may not necessarily identify himself with a group that he was born into. For example, you were born in the America, you call it ABC. Right? So your parents are Taiwanese. So sometimes you will not get the American culture. You will still also get the Taiwanese culture because your parents are Taiwanese. That's the one they give you. Okay. So there, okay. Rituals may become very important to individuals during times of significant life transitions, okay. So some people from a different culture will have their own rituals, like wedding ceremonies, right? In Taiwan, not that much, right? You just do the wedding in the wedding banquet. But in some people like Indians, right, they have their own ceremony for wedding. Okay, so there. Okay, so rituals. What else? Okay, so sometimes if you are diagnosed with cancer, different people have different ways of coping with cancer, right? based on their culture. Okay. Okay, so let's now talk about the different groups of people. Okay. Okay, first we go to the African Americans. Okay. We call them African Americans or the blacks. Okay, but we don't use the term blacks because if you call them black, it's a very rude word. Okay? So you just call them African Americans. So we are talking about the black people. Okay. So how can we describe their family? So they have large family, okay? Extended family networks. Okay. What do you mean by family network? So there are two types of family system. Okay. The first one, what we call what? Nuclear family. Okay. When you say nuclear family, only the father, the mother, and the children living in one house. Okay. Nuclear. The other one is your extended family. Okay. When you say extended, other relatives live in the same house, like your grandparents, right? Your auntie, your uncle also live with you. Okay. We call it extended family. Okay. So for the blacks, they also have extended family. Okay. Majority of them, their religion is Protestant or Baptists. Okay. Later on, we'll discuss the religions. Okay. Okay. Non-verbal communication is important for them. Okay. Again, there are two types of communication. Okay. Verbal and non-verbal. Okay. Like me talking to you, this is a kind of verbal communication. Okay. Because you're listening to what I'm saying. Okay. Verbal. Okay. When I do this, I'm not saying anything, but it means something, right? What does this mean? Keep quiet, right? Silence, right? I didn't say anything, but I just do that. So that is non-verbal communication. Okay. Okay. So for them, it's also important. Okay. Direct eye contact is considered rude. So remember this. If you have a black patient later on in the United States, do not look at them in the eye. Okay? They don't like that. Okay? So they're rude. Okay? So do not stare at the patient. Okay? Stare means to look at something or someone for a long time, like this. Okay? Do not do that. They don't like that. Okay? You can look at them at the eye, but for a short time only. Okay? Okay, so remember that direct eye contact is considered rude. Okay, so do not stare at the patient. What else? Importance of close personal space. Okay, what do you mean by personal space? The space around you. Okay, personal space. Okay? And touching another's hair is offensive. So do not just touch the patient's hair like that. Okay? They don't like that. Before you touch the hair, you tell the patient, can I examine your head? Right? Can I take a look at your head? Okay? Don't just touch it. They will not like it. Okay?